Evening guys, just thought I'd do a little bit of an update. It's I don't know what time it is, probably about 8, half 8. One of the things to be aware is, although it seems quiet here, it's often about eating times, because the Spaniards eat at different times to people like myself that still have my dinner about 5:30, 6 o'clock. You can see here, well maybe not, the restaurant's pretty much full. A lot of people don't even start coming out till about 9:30, so that's quite normal here. Off to the bank tomorrow and down to see our what do you call it, our notary. So it looks like the house is nearly there. I'm a bit like that with it at the minute, because this will be about the 4th house that we've looked at in the last year where there's been, something's been disruptive or a complete abandoned post in start again. So I'm hoping this goes through this time, especially since I bought a lot of this stuff already. Over the last week we bought electric ceiling fans. I got some new tools for doing some of the work with. Been out looking at the kitchen, setting the kitchen up. As soon as the keys are there, the kitchen order will be going in. Bathroom, I think I'm going to leave probably until the kitchen's done, simply because we can get away with the bathroom as is for a month or so, just so we can get things moving. I was looking at the floor tiles in the sitting room earlier and they look alright. I'm tempted to overlay with like a laminated floor, put in some thermal insulation under and then laminate it. I know a lot of people say, oh, you want the tiles for the, keeps it cool. We're here all year round, so insulating and putting another layer of floor. I won't take the tiles up, I'll just go over the top of it. Will actually be better for the winter. One of the things we do at the moment is put a lot of rugs down. So you find that works really well as well. There's a tip for you. But yeah, I'm loving being back home. Been great to spend time with the kids in April, and you might be able to hear it. A little bit of wind there, but pretty much every day it's been windy. As soon as I mentioned we're going to fly a drone, the weather changes. I can see there's some rain clouds wanting to come out and play as well. It was raining this morning. But as you can see, it's not too cold. I'm in t-shirts, I'm in my shorts, and I have a habit of wearing a body warmer lately. Well, I say lately, I used to wear one all the time before. It's mainly because of pockets, so I don't wander and my shorts get pulled down with my phones and stuff in them. So I do like having a body warmer. Extra storage space, and it keeps all the weight on your shoulders rather than trying to pull your trousers down. But yeah, I think it's good to be back. I've been trying to stay out of politics, but some of the stuff that's coming out lately, I'm just utterly amazed that people just go along with it. I know there's been a bit of a backlash today about the BBC talking about how people should hug. I'm just like, really? Like I say, I'll try to keep out of the politics, but I just think they really are stepping over the mark now. Are they saying that the average person is so stupid, is incapable, or she's incapable of managing a basic human function? Yeah, at the same time, old Boris doesn't seem to be having any of the stuff he's been up to stick. Whether it's the wallpaper, now there's a Caribbean holiday, and you think, well, you think that's bad? Wait until he's left government. Wait until all the PPE and all the other bits and pieces that have been ongoing come to light. But it just says the status of the UK government, in my personal opinion, that if you're a politician, you can get away with it. Worst you have to do is either give it back or maybe apologise. Or really bad, retire early. Because as long as you do your 5 years, you get your full pension, by the way. That's why people say I won't stand at the next election. They should go now, because it will stop them getting their their pension funds. But if they wait till the end, do their 5-year term, they get a full pension. That's why they always say I'll stand down at the next election. They're not doing you a favour, they're doing themselves one. But that's why, you know, when people want about do a vote Labour, do a vote Conservative, my personal view is if I was asked to eat something I didn't like and had a choice of, say, 2 poisons, the answer to that same question in that context would be I won't eat either. That's my personal opinion. They're no better than each other in my personal opinion, and it's been proven. You know, the stuff with old Tony Blair, oh no, that's different. Blair wasn't Labour, that was New Labour. The union years with old unionists, same. They're all part of the same little cartels of making money for themselves and telling us that it's for our benefit. I'm sidestepping politics again. I'm moving off it because it's one of the few things that frustrates me. It's not the fact that these people do what they do, it's just that people try to make out that we've got an alternative. We haven't. You vote for one, the other, or don't vote for any, you'll end up with one of them anyway. For me, that's not democracy. And now I've no interest in running for politics myself because the number of seats that you have to make a basic decision, the amount of power that you would need, you would have to toe the party line to actually make anything achievable or completely overhaul the entire system. Not going to happen in my lifetime. So for me, this is back on the positive stuff, is don't get bogged down in it. This is what life's about, enjoying it. You know, coming down here, sitting here. Kids are busy at home. Uwe wasn't feeling too well today, so I've not brought him out tonight. I'll come out and do my walk every evening. Sometimes do one in the morning, not as many this time. I'm actually finding the sun a bit too bright in the morning, to be fair. But this is what life's about. You know, the important thing with life is you only have one. You either live it or you exist in it. And there's a lot of people who say, you know, it's always someone else's fault that they didn't get on in life, didn't do well at school, didn't do this, didn't do that. And I was talking to my wife about this earlier. I said, do you know what? Do you know why we move forward? It's because we get back up. We take a knock, we get back up, and we carry on. Jamie Oliver, just as an example, was somebody that wasn't the best at school, but guess what? The boy can cook. There's a lot of examples of people out there that have less about them than maybe you have, but the difference is they get back up. They get back up. But I'm not trying to run anybody down. It's actually the opposite. I'm sort of saying, look, if you're not happy with your life or something about it, change it. Do something about it. It's took me a while to get to this position, and once that house is signed and it's all decked out, and I mean, to be fair, more than half of it's already going to be paid for up front. I'll be paying that mortgage off as quick as possible, stacking up my investment funds and preparing to get here full time. That's where I'm heading. You know, I've had a few people ask me about, is this where I'm going to stay? The answer is yes. This is home. Lamata Matt lives in Lamata. This is one for a bit of interest because nearly 10 minutes in. We're looking for a name for the house at the minute, so if you've got any interesting names or thoughts, answers on the postcard. It's worth kicking one out there because if it's good, it may end up being the name of our new house. But I've got to say, I just love it here. It's quiet, and I know Sue was on about this because April mentioned it the other day. about, you know, it was really busy. I mean, today the parking was really busy, and she says, yeah, you know, it's good for the restaurants, good for the, because it's all busy, but you know what, she's a bit like me, don't really love it when it's quiet as well. You know, you get, say, chilled environment, laid back atmosphere. When we get the entire beach to yourself, don't get me wrong, it's not stupidly warm at the minute, but you can come down here, that beach is yours. You might have to share with maybe 10 people at the minute, thanks to the touch of the COVIDs. But I can't think of anywhere else I'd rather be. It's just home. Just happy here. And that's the hard bit in life, is finding something that makes you happy. And that's, we talked about this earlier, because a few of my friends are right miserable old people. And I was saying to my wife, I says, you know, when these people go off on one, they're ranting about stuff that they've got zero control over, and it's almost like they're sitting there waiting for the news to give them something to argue about. And then they contact me to have a moan about this stuff, and I'm like, I really don't want to know. I'm not interested. But here's the question: what makes you happy? Because that stuff doesn't. Negative media never does. And don't get me wrong, I detest the over happy stuff as well. That's just nuts. But the point is actually finding your own path, finding what makes you happy, finding a place in the world where you can call it home, have friends, family, or whether you like being alone. It's completely up to you. But the key to it is actually finding something that is yours. It's where you want to be. The matter for me is like that, or is that? I mean, it's a bit weird, because the more people know me in this area than they do in the UK. Big hi to anybody who recognises me at the airport. I know it's much harder with the masks on and hardly any flights, but I do appreciate you saying hello when you see me. But yeah, I mean, if you do get a chance to come out of the matter, it's not, don't expect it to be Disney World, because it's not. Don't expect it to be all brand new and shiny, because to be fair, if you want that, head off to Disney World. And Disney World, to be fair, is fantastic as well. I couldn't live there, but I enjoyed my trip to Disney World before, in the old Warner Brothers studio. But for me, this is home. And yes, a lot of the buildings are late 70s, early 80s construction, need a lot of renovation work, but what it pays off with is that got the beach on this side, and then you just walk over the road, you've got the lakes, and because there's so much tourism around here, you got all the facilities now around here as well. Now, if someone's going to argue me about pay, on-skilled labour pays crap generally anyway. You know, don't get me wrong. If you're a skilled plasterer here, I'm sure if you set your own business up, you'll probably do quite well. The same way Igor does quite well. The same way there's a few garages I know do quite well. Same with the restaurants, food line does a hell of a lot of trade. Reality is, if you're good at something, you will make it. But the world does not owe you a living. If anything, if you want to come out here and make it, you've got to put the effort in. It's not going to come to you, drop in your lap. That doesn't happen here. And one of the things a lot of you guys may not be aware of, because obviously I've been travelling a bit longer than the Spanish stuff. I was out in the Philippines for 8 years before here. And if you can make it in the Philippines, you can pretty much make it everywhere. Anywhere, everywhere or anywhere. Because there's a lot of anti-business stuff in the Philippines that, you know, that relate to foreigners. But I love my time in the Philippines, love my time in Spain. I just wish the UK was a bit more upbeat these days. I don't know what it is. You know, I can understand the rain. The rain's a big thing in the UK. A lot of people just don't seem to be too happy. I don't know how to fix it. That's the thing. I can't really criticise it because I don't know how you'd fix it. I do think there's a lot of stuff gone out the UK that used to be cheap or free. You know, it'd be nice to actually have some more sports facilities for kids, ones that don't charge. I think that's very positive. That'll make a good impact. It'd be good for people to get more involved in community stuff as well. So I remember, I think it was Radio 2 were talking about it with the Cubs and the Scouts. Well, mainly the Cubs, I think it was, being used as cheap babysitters. You know, there's no interest in being part of this stuff. You know, I don't know what it is. It's the sense of community is just not there as much. Here, there's always activities. For me, the frustration is that I'm not aware of them until they often happen. So I'd like to get involved in the boxcar racing. But obviously you see us out and about when anything's on, but they don't market it very well. Everyone just seems to know what's going on, but the Philippines was exactly the same. They always knew when something was going on, and then suddenly you go, hang on, what's this? What's happening this afternoon? Oh yeah, we're having a big festival. Didn't see any signs for it. Oh, it happens every year. But yeah, I mean, here you have the Port Festival, where they all have the barbecues on the beach. Normally have the old concerts over there throughout the holiday season. That's going to be a bit light this year. But there's a lot of activities outside the tourism season as well. And a bit of an announcement maybe. I think once the house is well on its way, we're going to get a boat. I know I keep talking about it, but with the amount of the hassles with the lockdown for the last year, and the realisation that I spend way too many hours working, I need to spend more time with the family. I need to spend more time at home, and I need to teach my son to fish. We do go fishing not along the jetty, but I want to take him proper fishing, so we will get a fishing boat. Yeah, we'll get a fishing boat. I was thinking about sailing. I can sail as well. Fishing boat's more logical. And then I'll share it with Igor and see if another couple of guys want to get involved in it. I know one of our friends nearby is also interested in getting involved in it. Doesn't need to be massive. I mean, for me, just getting out far enough so you can get some decent a decent catch and just chill out and get the old couple of beers going, chilled water, chilled beer of course, and just lounging with a fishing rod. It doesn't really matter if you catch anything. It's just spending a bit of time doing some of the family stuff. But yeah, it is good to be back. Yeah, the house is getting a bit busy. I've been ordering that much stuff. So far I've got new jet wash, new hose for it, fan lights for every single room, new extracts for the toilets, all the electrical sockets, cables, exterior sockets, exterior lights, balcony lights. I'll share all this stuff once we start actually moving this stuff to where it's going to go. But I'm interested to see how the house turns out once I've given it a quick jet wash, because it looks like it could do with one. So that's the first job of the week, or next week, is if we get the keys soon. Give it a good scrub first, see how it comes up, and then start the renovations. But yeah, you just got to decide where you want to be. For me, it's here. Even though it's starting to rain, still love it. Alright guys, I'll do a quick walk. Alright, it's 20 minutes in. I'll do 10 more minutes. I'll walk down. I've got my mask in my pocket, by the way. It's just literally there is nobody else here. So it's not a case of I haven't got my mask. It's literally there's nobody in the way, and I do stick it on if anybody's anywhere near. Because I know some people love to criticise, but in the rain with somebody at least 100 metres away, I don't think there's much risk of getting a touch of the COVID. But I do hope to see a lot more of you starting to come out now. I know this government green list's a bit frustrating. Now the funny thing is, do you know what frustrates me is they changed the goalposts. Goalposts were originally around the case numbers. And the case numbers have now moved to somebody walking up this way now. Case numbers have now moved to the number of vaccines, because they're trying to force people to have the vaccines. So it's gone from one rule to another, which is all a bit bizarre, because where do you draw the line? Are we constantly being pushed? I mean, this whole thing about the hugging shenanigans just shows how far we're going. So yeah, you got to ask the question, where is it heading? Now, I'm not getting into my thoughts on the whole vaccine situation, because time will unravel that one anyway, one way or the other. But my main thing at the moment, as long as the family are safe, I'm not too fussed on the illness myself. But I do take a lot of general precautions anyway. I mean, it's quite common in Asia to wear a mask anyway in public, especially if you're the one with a cold or whatever. Been doing that for ages. But at the same time, like my wife, she'll carry a little bottle of alcohol. She'll wash her hands before she eats in a restaurant. Very common in Asia. And you think, well, maybe it's just, an Asian thing, blah blah. You know what? Do you know why it has silver spoons and silver cutlery before? Have a look about it on how it reacts with bacteria, because that was the whole point of it. So a lot of it is just basic common sense. Well, don't get me wrong, a few of the guys I work with, not at my firm directly, but contractors, they've had some COVID shenanigans, and they were quite bad with it. And they did say, they were really ill with it. But like I said, I mean, I've had dengue before, and I'm not looking to try and get COVID to sort of prove a point type thing. It's more a case of, with the number of vaccines that have gone out there now, I do think we're nearly at a point where we don't need to force the entire population down that route. I think we should use a bit of common sense. It's raining. Oh, just out of interest, have a look how much tax is on the COVID test in the UK. So I'm sure there was a luxury tax, not just a normal tax. I'm sure there was a luxury tax initially on it. I think it was the guy from Ryanair that brought it up, because it was more than the normal 20%, not for sure. But anyway, nearly home. Bit of a natter for the evening, but Have a great week, everybody. And if the winds die down, we'll get the drone up. Thanks for watching.